Hi everybody. For those who watched my last video, I talked about in my next video, meaning this one, that I would be showing you how to get started growing your own organic fertilizer in your garden. Well, as most of you have known, I put pictures of my rain barrel system in the groups the last couple days, and I've had an overwhelming response. Thank you for the support and everything, but I want to divert away from the fertilizer video to show you just how easy it is to build your own rain barrel system. From the top of the camera, you can see I have a barrel here. I get these barrels for free at our local car wash. If you don't have a local car wash at your in your town or anything like that, I'm sure you do, but get with them. And I got this one from the kind that you set in your car and drive through. This one had soap in it. The soap usually comes in the 55-gallon drums. The wax and the bug cleaner usually comes in smaller 30-gallon drums. If you happen to get one that had wax in it, it's very simple. Just take the top screw cap off of it, mix about a half gallon of bleach in there with some water, put the cap back on, maybe a little soap, and roll it around your yard and rinse it out. No big deal. I haven't had any issues with those so far. If you can't find them at your car wash, check Craigslist. I've seen them anywhere from from 50. I've seen them anywhere from $5 all the way up to $30. The $5 ones usually don't have the caps on them, and you do need both caps. So before you go buying anything, make sure you have both caps on them. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab the camera, show you the materials you need, show you the tools that you're going to need for this project, and give you an up-close view of the barrel itself.
Alright, let's take a look at what we need for this project. You've got your cordless drill here, and I've got a 3/4 inch drill bit in it. You also need a hacksaw, pair of pliers, utility knife, measuring tape, a pencil, sandpaper, better get up there, sandpaper, and I've got my caulking gun with some glue in it. Materials you need to go buy. This is a male coupler, half-inch male coupler, 99 cents. Half-inch 90-degree elbow, 59 cents. A can of PVC cement, $4.39. This is a ball valve. This was $1.69. These are all laying on replacement window screen. You can get this at your local hardware store for basically $1 a foot, and it comes in a 2-foot roll, so you're getting 2 square feet for about $1. Another thing that I didn't have laying on here, this is Teflon tape. It's also known as pipe thread tape. For a single barrel unit, you do not need this piece right here. This is a T. This costs also 79 cents. This is a half-inch T. This is an optional item also. This is 1.5 inch elbow. And this is optional, which I'll show you why I'm using this a little bit later. This is 1.5 inch male adapter also. Now down here laying on the ground is a 10-foot section of half-inch PVC. This is $2.99. What I've got right here is about a 18-inch piece, and this is all you're going to need for this project. You're also going to need some sheet metal screws. About $1.50, $2 for the whole box. You're not nearly going to need those. You're going to need 8 of those, maybe even 6. And this piece back here, this is a gutter extension, extends out to 50 inches. This is what's going to attach your downspout to your barrel. So I'm going to go set the camera back up and show you the top of this barrel. Actually, I'm going to show you the bottom. Okay, for the purpose of this video, I am using a used one that I've already used in my old system barrel. As you can see, we've already got a hole drilled in here. This side over here has very fine threads. This has got very coarse threads inside of it. Here's what your fine threaded side looks like. This is covered up in here. We will not be using this, but I am going to use this cap right here to put in this one to show you just how we're going to drill. As you can see on the bottom, this side does not have any threads where your coarse fit does. And I'm not really for sure if you can see real well. I know you can't see real down in top of here, but what we're going to do is we're going to take our drill bit and we're going to go straight down the middle of this cap, just like that. Now the original one, like I said, was the coarse one. Leaves you with a nice little threaded piece. We've got our coarse thread out. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add this Teflon tape. We are going to wrap this around at least twice, if not 3 times. You want to get all the way from the bottom to the top. And what this will do is we'll seal up the hole in case there's any gaps. This will keep the water from coming out the bottom, because the top part will be on the bottom in your barrel. You want to make sure you keep your Teflon tape wide. If you pull on it too tight, it'll stretch out and it'll get narrow on you. And once you got it, just tear it off. It's as simple as that. Alright, I hope we can get a good shot. I'm simply hand tightening the cap back on. Get it hand tightened. We're going to take our pliers, and these are angle pliers and they're really not the best for the job, but I've actually loaned my straight pliers to a friend and don't have them here at the house right now. Alright, we've got, this one's always been sealed, this one's sealed for now with the hole. Now we're going to flip this baby upside down. Alright, as you can see, we've got the barrel upside down. Yes, I know it's a little dirty, it's scuffed up. Like I said, this is a barrel that I had in a previous system. So inside your little ring here, we're going to set our gutter replacement, or the gutter extension. We're going to set it down. We're going to trace all the way around with your pencil. Magic marker or Sharpie of some sort would work probably a little bit better. So now we've got our traced outline. Now the plastic on here is approximately 1/4 inch thick. So that's an awful big task to ask to use your utility knife. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the drill bit. I'm going to use my drill, and I'm going to go around the edges, and then I'll fine tune and make fine cuts with my utility knife. Alright, there you have it. It took me a while to get the adjustments made, but that is perfectly fit in there. And we're going to drill one more hole, 3/4 inch. And while we're drilling this hole, this is going to be our vent hole for when your barrel is filling up with water. It's going to cause the water that's cause the air that's already in there. When the water fills up, it's going to need a place for the air to go. So, here's where our replacement screen comes in handy. Alright, the first thing we're going to do for this replacement screen, you're not going to see it on camera, but I'm going to take about a 2-inch square and cut the screen. This is nylon replacement screen. It cuts real easy. We're going to make sure our hole's covered. The reason that we do this is to keep the mosquitoes out. Because trust me, if you leave this vent hole uncovered, the mosquitoes will find their way in, and you don't want that. Okay, as you can see, I've got the screen over my vent hole, and I showed you earlier in the video my caulking gun. Well, that tube of caulking, here it is. You can see it kind of sprung a leak on me. So we're going to just spread this around. Going to get a little bit more out of the gun here. Dummy. Alright. Maybe a little bit of overkill here, but now we've got that glued into place. We've got the first one set, just waiting on that to dry. As you can see, I've got quite a big piece here that to cover the hole. Now what you want to do is just take your fist, kind of push it down a little bit, and you're going to have some of it overlapping, and we're going to add the glue that's kind of on my finger here. We're going to add the glue and then trim off the excess screen. Okay, as you can see, I've screwed this up really bad. I've got glue all over my finger. I'm going to clean this up, give this time to dry, and clean my hand up here a little bit, and I'll see you guys after a bit. Alright, I know you can't see me very well, and that's probably a good thing on your part that you don't have to look at my ugly mug. Next step, we're actually going to start putting the plumbing together. We're going to take our male adapter, our male coupling, put the threads on the outside, and I am going to add the Teflon tape, keeping it firm but not stretching the tape. We're going to go around about 3 times. This will place a good seal. And there you have it. Alright, we've got the thread tape, and this is simply going to screw in. And as you can see, this is why we use this one side. And we're just going to hand tighten. There you have it. We're done with that piece anyway. Alright, so we got our first piece, our male adapter in over there. Now's where the hacksaw comes into place. Your tape measure. Now I'm going to be honest with you, these measurements do not have to be exact. I'm going to personally go with 3.5 inches, make a mark with my pencil, and cut 3.5 inches for this particular piece. We've got our 3.5 inch piece that we're going to put into the male adapter, into the coupling. And like I said, you have got about 10-15 seconds. So you're going to dab all the excess glue off of here. Try not to breathe these fumes, by the way. We're just going to slowly go around the inside. We're going to put a little on the outside. Place it inside. Just give it about 3 quick turns. In real time, what'd that take? 5 seconds? Alright, I'm not really sure how this camera angle is going to look. We've got this piece done. This has only been less than a minute, actually. We've got our 45. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 45 on here without the glue, and I want to get it set exactly where I want it, to where I know that it's going to extend directly out. Then I'm going to take my pencil and mark both pieces so that I know once I get my glue in there, it'll fit exactly where I want it, because like I said, you've got less than 15 seconds. So we're going to dab the outside of the pipe. Too much glue, dummy. Alright, and as we put this in there, we're going to turn it. And it's as simple as that. Now we have our elbow coming out. Alright, now we got our elbow. It's locked in place. And yes, as you can tell, I've went Hollywood. The sun has finally came back out after being overcast. So now we need to put our pipe to get it out past this so we can get a bucket. And what I'm going to do is measure down 7 inches on this piece. Now where this butts in, it's got a stop. It's got a little stopper in there that'll stop it at a 1/2 inch. So down here we got a 1/2 inch. I cut this to 3 inches. We got a 1/2 inch of it there, 1/2 inch of it inside the elbow. So we're going to cut this to 7. Doesn't have to be exact. Personal preference. You can do it 6 inches. You can do it 8 to 10, however you want to. The farther you cut it, the longer you cut it, the farther it's going to stick out. Take a chance of walking by and smacking it with your leg or something. Alright, we're going to sandpaper, clean up both ends, the rough edges on both ends. Get all the excess glue off of the cotton swab. Don't want it dripping and wasting at $4.39 a tube. Get both ends. Like I said, you've got about 15 seconds to get this set. This one, it really doesn't matter because it's just a straight shot where you need your elbow out. That's it. It is good to go. I'll take this moment to tell you that I really screwed up just a little bit ago. I should have done this next step when I had the barrel flipped over doing the gutter system. Remember, I had talked about these optional pieces. These optional pieces right here, this one's going to be screwed into the barrel, and this one's going to sit in there right like that. This is our overflow valve, in case you get too much rain. Well, some dummy forgot to do that when I had the barrel flipped upside down. So, no big deal. The reason that I listed this as optional is because this is another $1.69, 99 cents I believe, $1.09, something like that. If you do not want to have your overflow valve when your barrels get full, they're just simply going to
the excess water is going to come out. Your pressure release, no big deal. So, one of the tools I did not show you earlier was an 1.5 inch hole saw. So we're going to put this as high as we can so that you can get the maximum amount of water possible. Might be a little bit better for you to see this way. And you know, it really might be better if I'd have switched out the battery on my drill. Hey, if you guys know any villages that are looking for their idiot, tell them to call me. Be right back. Simple as that, with the right tools and charged battery. Now you can put your Teflon tape on here just like we did with the other threaded male, the 1/2 inch. It's not really a necessity, but I just like to get in the habit of getting the Teflon tape on there at every piece. Alright. In case you didn't notice, I shut the video off because the pole saw didn't make quite a clean cut, and I had to take the utility knife and clean up the hole a little bit, open it up. You've seen me screw up enough today, so you really didn't need to see that, so I just shut the camera off while I was doing that. This doesn't have to be all the way in. It's getting pretty tight right now, so I'm going to peel the item code off of it, grab the glue, PVC cement, sorry. A little swab around there. Get it positioned right where you want it. You're good to go. We're almost done. Alright, as you can see, you've got your adapter here. These screws are just where I put it into the gutter. So we're going to take our gutter extension, first one's a little tricky because you got to hold the piece up while you're screwing it in. Hope you guys just didn't see me fall off the ladder. I think I got it close enough and close up so that you couldn't see that. Alright, one more step and our barrel's complete. We got to put our shut-off valve, the ball valve. This is off. This is on. But I am not going to put it on this barrel. I do not want to use this barrel right now. So what I want to do is show you over on the side of the house where I've got my 3-barrel system. I want to show you. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It looks like we do it just like we do any other joint that we're putting together with the cement. Alright, we're going to get a close-up. This is on the 3-barrel system. Right now it's off. And I did add a male adapter. But to be honest with you, we're not going to get enough water pressure to use a hose. So I still have to use a bucket. So
As you can see, we got a decent amount of pressure, but not enough to run it through the hose. I will tell you this, with this system, with the 1/2-inch pipes, the more water you have in your tanks, the more water pressure you're going to get, obviously. Some of you have asked questions regarding how come I only have one downspout to one barrel, where the other two, how do these two barrels fill? Well, it's very simple. Gravity will take effect. This barrel will fill up and it will get about 2/3 of the way full. The water pressure will send the water to the pipes. All these pipes are connected. It'll go in this one. This one will fill up. And as you can see right now, we're setting it right here with the water. So all 3 barrels, you can't see with the blue. Bailey, I'm trying to film, honey. Next door neighbor's dog. Okay, so we got, I'd say about 10 to 12 gallons in each barrel. A good hour of steady rain will pretty much fill these barrels up, these 3. And as you can see over here, I've got the overflow valve. And you want to make sure you put your screens on. Like I say, the screens do 2 things. Coming out of your gutters like this, it will keep any leaves or sticks or anything from getting down into your barrel. That's why we've got the screen. You definitely want to screen in your air pressure release valve. Trust me, mosquitoes will get down in there, and you don't want all them mosquitoes laying all those little eggs or whatever the heck mosquitoes do that cause you to have a ton of them in your backyard while they're in the water. As you can see, I've got my barrels setting on 3 concrete blocks. These are just your standard 16 by 8 concrete blocks. I've got them up 3 high. This gives me enough room to put a 5-gallon bucket underneath the spigot and get all the water I want. Now I'll tell you right now, like I talked earlier about the water flow and not having enough pressure, the higher you put the barrels off the ground, the more pressure you're going to get. Gravity is going to take effect and you'll get more pressure. But if you plan on using a hose, you're going to be sorely disappointed, because the farther the water travels through the hose, the more it's losing pressure. And these concrete blocks cost me 95 cents, I believe, at one of the big box stores. And that's about it. Alright, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, how to make a rain barrel. In real time, this actually took me probably 35 to 40 minutes, maybe 45. You would think that after shooting 3 or 4 videos that I would get kind of used to the camera and everything. I still get a little nervous sometimes, and I know it shows on the camera, but I really appreciate the support that you guys are giving me on these videos. If you have any comments or anything, please post them down in the comment section below, you know, right down here. What a dweeb. Anyway, if you've got any topics that you'd like to have me film a video on, or if you're curious about, send me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see the next video on. I am far from a master gardener. I'm just a guy who enjoys sharing my tips and everything with you guys. I've learned so much from the groups that I'm in, and you guys know who I'm talking about, and I want to thank everybody for the tips and the friendship that we have got, the tips and the friendship that has evolved over the last year or so. But if you got a topic that you'd like me to discuss in a video, how to, or anything like that, if I don't know how to do it, I will be the first to admit that I don't know how to do it, but I probably know who does. Everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much it means to me to be able to share these tips with you. So hopefully I'll try to get another video sometime this weekend. I don't know if I will get around to it.
Seems like every time I go to shoot a video, the neighbor kids decide to come out and play and jump around on the trampoline and just being kids. Anyway, thank you again. And anyway, thanks again. I'm going to post pictures. Don't go away yet. Video's not done. I'm going to post pictures with all the materials that you need, all your tools, and on the material sheet I'm going to have the prices listed on the screen. Thanks again.